MIT's motto is Men's at Manus, or Mind in Hand. At MIT, we've got over 40 Makerspaces and over 1,000 pieces of maker equipment. Now imagine you come in as a brand new freshman. How do you get training needed to get into these Makerspaces? And how do you know where everything is within the Makerspaces? MakerLodge was born within only 500 square feet of space to solve these problems. MakerLodge enables a rapid way for freshmen to get trained in MakerTech and bypass training barriers at MIT Makerspaces.
I just feel suddenly like I have the ability, if I want to go do something and figure out how to make something, I can just go do that. Whereas before, I never would have imagined being able to be that empowered to just make my own stuff.
In MakerLodge, freshmen get 4 hours of training, and this training is given by their fellow students. This training is not designed to make them experts, it's designed to give them enough skill so that they can take their first steps into a makerspace at MIT. They learn maker safety, laser cutters, 3D printers, bandsaw, drill press, and some hand tools. Then they get training credentials with MIT's Maker app, Mobius, and they can use these credentials to get through training barriers at various makerspaces.
MakerLodge is a community.
It's a gateway to learning the tools we'll use to help make the future.
It's student-run and student-taught.
It's 3D printers, CNC routers,
laser cutters, glass blowing, and Arduinos.
And Saturday nights in the lab making mistakes and learning from them.
It's 100 MakerBucks and a free toolkit.
It's learning from friends and making new ones.
It's preparing for the next 3 years of making.
And opening doors to the best makerspaces on campus.
It is really just a way to get your foot in the door of this kind of Goliath of making culture. You know, MakerLodge training does not give you access to every single shop on campus or teach you how to use every single tool, but it's just kind of a way to get in there a little bit, and once you've gotten in there a little bit, suddenly you have access to so much more.
So I think that the project we have here at MakerLodge is streamlining the process. You know, it saves people maybe a whole year on that whole talking to people, figuring out where things are. It saves them a ton of time. It saved me a ton of time.
In the past, you'd either have to join a club or team that had access to a smaller shop, or you'd have to become friends with a machinist and beg them to use their tools. Now that's no longer the case. You can get access to a CNC mill. You can get access to a lathe or a water jet without having to beg, without having to go through hoops. And what you're seeing as a result is you're seeing more students taking advantage of these resources. You're seeing the students who would take advantage of those resources do even more than they would in the past. And you're seeing some crazy projects come out of MIT, and I think you'll see some interesting and insane innovations over the next 4 or 5 years just because students have access to these things.
MIT freshmen are busy, and MakerLodge is not a required program, yet about 400 freshmen, and that's roughly 40% of the MIT freshman class, completed the training. We took surveys, and it shows that 98% of those students rated MakerLodge as valuable or more valuable than other MIT freshman programs. And this didn't stop there. As members of the MIT senior leadership, this includes provost, our VP, and general counsel, took the training, which they really enjoyed and they saw the value in. Above and beyond that, the head of EHS and various EHS staff members took the training so that they would have confidence in it as well. Our freshmen come in, they have a year more of runway, right, to get up to speed on making. The hypothesis is that through their sophomore, junior, and senior year, because they'll be more advanced in making, there's more opportunity for them to think about how you make those tangible things and actually do it.
You know, on the entrepreneurship side, we've seen a lot of really great things being done, from like starting at pitch competition through to accelerators. And I see it basically extending back towards making, where you start with things like MakerLodge, and then you have these means of support for those students that allow them to become more innovative to then get into the entrepreneurship pipeline.
We learned a lot of things in creating MakerLodge, but our biggest lesson learned, which we believe will become a best practice for all campuses with multiple makerspaces, is the importance of readily available information. Access across many makerspaces, for example, the MakerLodge system, could not exist at MIT without the search and the credentialing functions that we have in the Mobius app. For Mobius, we've cataloged every maker tool on campus and every makerspace at MIT. And now every student can store training credentials within Mobius. Together, these functions enable everybody at MIT to more easily navigate the MIT Maker system. Without these capabilities, freshmen could not show facility managers that they'd been trained, and facility managers would not have a system of credentialing that they could trust.